HLCAG is the awesome fiber internet.
Yeah.
But yes, beyond that, if you have
We, we don't
fif-
have your videos.
if you have
You have
50
to reconnect, Tessa.
what?
You have to reconnect.
Oh, okay, I'll reload.
No, go to the cog at the end.
It's too late. It's too late. I'll read it. Anyway, do you happen to have 50 gold pieces worth of your finest parchment?
And he's gonna give you a look, much like Tamora did.
I know.
That's a lot. That's a lot of parchment.
It is, but I'm looking for very high quality. If this makes sense. My grandmother, her family was very wealthy at one point. She likes to still keep up that air, you know.
I wish Cam was there.
Well, let me see what we got, and we'll see if it's good enough for you.
I appreciate all of your effort.
Again, he disappears. Cast his spirit again.
Rocks awkwardly.
We had Casta for a
And
second.
cast his spirit. And then he comes back with like
Scroll to the
2
bottom.
stacks.
Hit reconnect.
Where reconnect? All the way to the bottom? Okay, I'll try this. Okay, so I look it over. Does it look like something I could copy a spell on?
I mean, the nicer one, yes, probably, but you'd still need like inks and stuff more, I think.
Okay, so I
Probably more the issue than the parchment.
Why do you need 50 gold of parchment?
Hold on, wait.
Cost a
It
fortune
says
scratch
50, yeah, just to do it. Okay, so I do have, because I came with a scholar's pack, I do have ink, but it just says normal ink. So do I need to get like nice ink? I know. Let me ask hard questions.
Yeah, let's just assume that's wizard.
So sorry.
So let's say nicer parchment. Let's say you need about 30 gold of that or something.
Okay. This is perfect. You are. Oh, she will be so happy. I will tell everyone to come to your shop. Okay. So for the charcoal and the incense and the parchment and the brazier, how much is this for you?
What did it say on your spells?
Okay, so that's 30 for the spell stop and 10, so that's 40 plus the brazier. Or the walk.
Yeah, that's like a gold.
Okay.
So
Expensive ass walk. How are
41.
people cooking out here?
Let me see. I'm gonna give him 45 gold.
Alright.
And I'm gonna say thank you so much. I have been looking for quite a while. This is so helpful.
Oh, no, not a problem. Do you need something to carry it in? That's quite bulky. Do you want me to bring it somewhere?
And she looks at her backpack. She's like, "Do you have bigger backpacks or anything like this?"
Or you can send it to the inn.
I can get you some kind of shoulder sack if you want. Just carry it around.
That would be wonderful. Do you have something like that? I will. Yeah, of course, I will buy it. Whatever. It
Oh,
is.
it's just we can throw it in. It's just simple canvas.
Thank you. I very much appreciate this. I kind of like shove everything in. It's like bulging.
Yeah.
And I carry my bedroll.
It's like a very big gym bag,
I've got my gym bag, my backpack, and my bedroll.
Yeah.
Thank you. This is so helpful. We will certainly be back. I cannot say certainly. I don't know how long I will be here, but I will tell people that you have been so
All right,
helpful.
Punky.
Well, we're always here.
Okay.
Doing our best.
Yes. Thank you. Bye.
Come again.
I will try, but I cannot promise. But I will try. But thank you. I go outside and realize I have no idea where the fuck anybody is.
Alex, you are going to somewhere in these notes.
To have a bar fight. The tavern.
Where on earth did that crap go?
It's something like the rusty something, isn't it?
The rusty nail, I believe it was called.
Yeah, I think it's what it's called. It was the I knew it was rusty.
That's not it. There we go. Let's see. Yes, the rusted nail. and
Okay.
it's kind of tucked away a little behind the shops and all, the side.
Okay.
It's
I'm
a
gonna go in.
it's a smaller building. It's not as nice looking as the Gilded Rose. It doesn't look as well maintained.
Looks like my kind of joint. Okay. I'm good to go in.
All right, and you go in. It's basically a dive bar. You know, it's look kind of roughed up. There's like mostly bar stools around a big bar. There's a few tables, mostly like bar tables, higher ones, chairs around them. But currently there is nobody there except for a dwarf behind the counter. He
Okay.
just polishing a glass, and he looks up at you coming in. Yeah.
Hello. Can I get a glass of ale?
A little early, isn't it?
It's fine. I mean, you know, I just wondered if I could get a glass and maybe bend your ears, because I thought perhaps you would be the best source of some information for some things around town. I know that, you know, the Hawks have been sort of practically camping here.
Well, takes the glass he was polishing, he kind of looks at it and sticks it in a tap and starts pouring an ale. Yeah, what? Money can buy a lot of things.
No, I
What were you
understand.
What were you looking to know?
Well, I was curious. Do you know, I mean, did any of them talk about any of the things that they were, did they talk about any mines, any location of mines that they might have been doing? I mean, I'm sure that they, you know, in their cups and stuff, that they might have just talked indiscriminately about things.
Oh, he just kind of looks around the bar and then back at you, and you know, I didn't pay that much attention to it, and you know, they were paying good, and they
Well, I'm happy to pay for the information if you might remember some little information, particularly about the location of mines or places that they may have been going.
well, a lot of them talked about the manor. You know, they were
Right.
staying.
Right.
We're staying, I guess. They're not really coming around more, are they?
No, I think that we've pretty well and truly got rid of them. But I can assure you that if you serve good ale, that people will come back. I'm gonna take a drink of the ale. How bad is the ale?
It's not the worst ale you've had.
But it's not the best either, right?
It's not expensive ale.
Right. I mean, you know.
It's probably just a little watered down.
You know. So I'm more interested in the things that they did when they left town, or things that they might have seen, or things that they might have been doing. And I'm gonna slide 2 gold pieces across the counter.
Roll a persuasion check.
Jesus.
He just kind of puts his hand over the coins and back to him, and he grabs one and holds it up and kind of bites into it, just tests it with his tooth and puts them in his pocket. Well, a lot of them, you know, they came here to forget a lot about a lot of the work, but they were talking about the quarry. You know, some of them patrol up there sometimes. You know, they were protecting the town, so a lot of them going up and down the roads and all. Every now and then, it talked about more excursions north. I don't know if that was the quarry or.
Did they ever mention Dawn Deep? I know that's something of a local,
Not that I can remember now. There's not really much to do there, and it's pretty far away.
right, no, of course. thought that was my understanding as well. Just trying to, we're definitely doing a little investigating into what they've been up to, because they were clearly up to no good. I don't know how much protection they were actually providing. I think more so they were exacerbating the issues.
Put kind in my pocket.
Yes, but, if the rest of the town dries up, that money isn't going to do you much good unless you're willing to live, willing to leave yourself. I wonder, you said they were going up north. Is there anything beyond the quarry in the north?
Forest. Hills.
Forest. You don't know of any other mines or anything around?
Listen, just because I'm a dwarf doesn't mean I go mining all day.
No, of course not. I just thought perhaps as somebody...
That's racist.
Perry!
Literally, I didn't think of it as that. I thought of it as something that you might know of, since you probably hear a lot of things that people talk about.
The only thing I know about people go mining is the quarry, the Foxtown.
Right. No, I'm looking for a place with tunnels, apparently. Okay, well, maybe we'll do a little bit of scouting up to the north of the quarry. I would think that there's got to be something up there.
Well,
but none of them ever seem to speak about going out to Dawn Deep or anything like that.
not Dawn Deep, no.
Okay.
No. I did hear maybe, something else.
What's that?
People talk.
Right.
He just kind of looks towards the counter.
I'm going to slide 2 more gold pieces across the counter.
And he does the same thing, even though you get pause and he looks at me, and he kind of bites into one of them. There was a night a couple of weeks ago, somebody was talking about visiting a castle up north somewhere.
Visiting a castle? Do you know of a castle up north?
Not that I know of. I don't know whether anybody would have a castle up north.
Right. Are there any towns to the north of here?
I mean, there's plenty of towns north of here, but not close by.
Right. Interesting. Is there anybody in town who's something of a local historian or anything like that? I mean, anybody who studies the area or keeps records or anything like that?
Well, the mayor used to be pretty into the local history. Can't really ask him, can we?
But can we?
Oh, can we?
No, I can't. I really can't. Don't get your hopes up.
Oh, that sucks.
Sister Sarah's lived here all her life. She's into knowledgeable. She is about surroundings.
She's not our biggest fan right now.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna take another drink of the ale, and I'm gonna think about it in a little bit. Well, we might check with her. I don't think the mayor is going to be of any use to me at this point. And you can't think of
I
anybody
hope
else.
not.
Yeah, no. And you can't think of anybody else who might know something about the
What
outskirts
do
of...
you want?
I mean,
No.
just
Well, you've
ask around
been-
people that lived here a while, but
Right.
maybe check with some of the miners, perhaps. They go up around. I don't know how far they wander.
That's true.
And one of the hunters.
I doubt that they... Oh, do you have somebody who used to do a good bit of hunting in the area before the Troubles? Do you know of who I might seek out?
Maybe.
I'm gonna slide another gold piece on the counter.
He takes it, looks at it, bites it, puts it in his pocket.
Dude's gonna buy
Old
himself a
Ames.
splint meal. Keeps down on that.
Old
What's that?
Ames he has a farm outside town right now, but he used to go hunting quite a bit.
All right. Is that the same guy that we met at the inn? Was that Ames?
No,
Okay.
no, he was not there.
Which side of town is this farm on?
Yes, out in the northeast a little bit. If you
Okay.
if you just head out to town, you can kind of see it. Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you very much. You have been most helpful. And I will be certain to let everybody know that they should come back here now that the Hawks have sort of taken their leave.
What to do?
I'm sure that even though they were lining your pockets, I'm sure that your other regular clientele were not too keen to be around them. By all accounts, they were terrible people.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I'm sure I might come
So-
by again some other time. And I'm gonna slide the glass back to him and say thank you very kindly for your help. I appreciate it.
Coin's always welcome.
I'm sure that it is. And I'm gonna go back out to the. I'm gonna kind of head towards. I don't know. Towards the center of town to see if I
Yeah.
see anybody coming out anywhere.
Yeah. Nobody knows where anybody is. This is great.
Well, I'm just going back out to that main street, and I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean,
that
it's not a
somebody-
big town. If you just kind of stand on the middle drag, you'll probably see each other
Yeah.
eventually.
Yeah.
Gather up.
Elspeth is found by her like horde of children.
Yeah, I'm sure Elspeth will be easy to find because the children are probably
Yeah.
following her all over
I'm just
town.
kidding. She's totally bolted for back home. She just ran.
And thus begins the Elspeth campaign where she's running away from us.
The next 5 weeks is gonna be me.
She wouldn't
solo
run away
cast
from
up.
me.
Now Elspeth goes to a main road and just kind of looks around aimlessly, waiting to see if she catches somebody.
Elspeth stands around awkwardly.
So I will
Trademarked.
have made my way back out to the road as well.
All right, y'all find each other eventually. You reunite. You hug.
Wait.
You kiss. You make up.
No.
Do we need to take a break?
Sure.
I mean, Honey and I already did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We couldn't
Alright.
wait.
I'm okay for
Let's
now.
keep going. We haven't gotten into a fight yet.
All right. All right.
How
So
many
what's
people
going
have gathered in the center of town now?
20, 30.
No, I'm talking about has the rest of our party got here, or where is
I don't know.
everybody at?
Yeah.
Where's everybody at?
Wait. Maybe I missed something. Why are people gathering in the middle of town?
We're just because that's how we're finding each other. We're going to the main road and then spotting each other.
He said 20 or 30. What is he talking about? Is he fucking with us?
I think he's talking about like the roads just more populated because
Yeah.
it's the middle
Yeah,
of the
it's
day.
people.
He's fucking with us. Okay.
It's like a sheep, you know. Some starts, they start. Somebody else comes.
So Elspeth, with all of her stuff, is going to go to Khalid and be like, I was wondering if I could ask advice of you.
Go on.
I have a lot to carry,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know what to do about that. I can't exactly. I'm very awkward right now. Do you have any advice?
Right now?
Feel your pain, sister.
I am very awkward always, but right now I'm extra awkward.
Do you need to use that while we're traveling?
I would like to have it as an available option.
Is there nothing you can do with it right now or before we leave?
You are. I thought you. Never mind. I misunderstood. No, I can try this. I will. And she goes like into an alley and starts ritual casting. Just sits down on the ground
Elspeth, hold on. Elspeth,
and starts ritual casting fire
Elspeth.
familiar.
Khalid's
Elspeth,
like, oh god.
eyes.
Khalid is following. Like, Elspeth.
Stop.
What?
Stop.
You said that I should do it now.
Yes, well, now was perhaps the lowercase n and not the uppercase
Well,
n.
then when am I supposed to do it?
Perhaps we could retire back to the inn and you could have some privacy and
Gather
concentration.
everything back up again.
And now she's pissed at Khalid for some fucking reason.
Well, I mean,
You stand there with fistfuls of charcoal, the rest ready to throw in.
I've got like my shirt like held up and all the stuff's in it.
Maybe a half hour since breakfast. I don't think we need to be going back to the inn.
What? But yes, but we could talk there and not be in the middle of the town.
You cannot have Elspeth trying to cast magic right in the middle of.
We could go to
Okay,
some...
so let's go back to the inn. Perhaps Elspeth can do whatever it is that she was going to do there, and we can discuss the information I discovered. While
If you
I
would
was
like, we
online.
can gather in my room since you all know where that is anyway. She goes up to her room.
Alright, so we all go up and
So snarky.
cram into her room.
And once again start ritual casting Find Familiar. In my walk to see if it works.
What is she? Oh, find familiar.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's trying to get her familiar back.
That room
Okay.
is gonna get real nice and.
Smoky.
I walk into the room and I'm like, are we making dumplings?
I'm gonna open a window.
So, what have...
So I found out some interesting things while I
Oh.
was out and about town.
well, go on.
I stopped in at the Rusty Nail. I had a drink. And
Actually,
then
how
had a
long
chat
this?
with-
What's the cast time on Find Familiar?
1 hour.
That's
This
Plus,
will
plus
only
10
take.
minutes.
This will only take 10 minutes. Don't worry.
hey, it's a bit early for you to be drinking, isn't it?
I mean,
When I get started.
I never, you know, it's been a rough couple of days.
I mean, I'm not judging.
You aren't. You and the dwarf wanted to know if it was a little bit early. Anyway, I'm
It
more
seems-
was interested in the conversation than the drink. The drink was just my way in. So apparently, he didn't listen too much to what the Hawks were talking about when they were in his establishment, but he did say that they did a lot of patrolling of the quarry and things like that, but they also mentioned going north, and they also mentioned something about a castle
So then that perhaps
to
is
the
the...
north.
what the hell is that place that we were talking about before?
No, it's not Don Deep. Don Deep is in another direction,
Oh.
and he said none of them mentioned Don Deep. Don Deep is what direction from the town?
Northwest.
Northwest. He said none of them mentioned Don Deep, but he did say something about the north, and he said something about a castle. But he also said that there's a farmer, Ames, old Ames, that lives out to the north end of town, who used to do a fair bit of hunting before the Troubles. He might know something about the castle that they referred to as well.
So then we should visit Old Ames, and then the next question is, do we feel as if we should visit... I feel at this point that visiting Dawn Deep is more a curiosity to us than...
Yes, I mean, I'm curious about it, and perhaps we'll get out there, but I'm not sure that's the destination we're looking for. I mean, I could be wrong. The castle could be at Don Deep, but he said they never mentioned that by name, and it is something of a local legend. So I would imagine that if they were going there, they would have, you know, somebody would have mentioned it.
Yeah, agreed. So then, once Elspeth is done doing whatever is making
With
that
a-
smell...
With her 10-minute ritual.
I'm just like, my back is to the group as I continue to work.
But yeah, he was quite useful. A little expensive for the ale, I should say, but he did give me a little bit of information.
Alright.
Well,
So
good
then-
that you to pay him for the information too. Then
Yes, that's kind of what I was saying.
Alright. Well, then we visit Old Ames,
Indeed.
and we prepare ourselves for a possibly half-day to day-long journey to the, whatever
Indeed.
castle there might be.
I mean, I don't know. He didn't know anything about a castle, but And he said the only other person who might know something about it is perhaps Sister Sarah, but she is not. I don't think that we're her favorite people right now. Perhaps we should look at that too much for the moment.
Alright. And Khalid's gonna turn to look at Elspeth.
She's like
Apparently
seriously back to
Bear
him
was quite the
working.
local historian as well, and he of course is no use.
Well,
But
nothing
he
he's
might
told
have
us.
papers. He may have papers and things of that nature. If he was quite the local historian, he may have kept notes. Perhaps. Did we find anything in his office or anything like that? No.
I don't know how thoroughly you searched through, because I mean, it was his, there was a lot of books and paperwork, but you didn't find anything like laying out.
I think maybe there might be a history book or two in his office.
Yeah, so I was wondering about that. I mean, maybe he is more used to us than I thought. You want me to run over and see if Tavik would let me have a look?
I don't see anything. I mean, at least see if we can gather any information before we step off.
Yeah, for sure. All right. I'll run over. I'll go back over to the mayor's office then. I'll run over there and see what I can find out if there's anything of interest.
That sounds fine.
Maybe
Elspeth
Tom
should be
knows as
done
well.
any minute now, so.
Yes,
It's been about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
it is only 10
Right.
more minutes or so.
For the next hour, she'll be like, "It's only 10 more
Well, if you need to use the restroom, it's probably better to do that before a long journey.
minutes." Just 10 more minutes. Just 10 more minutes.
So Alex is heading back over to the mayor's house.
Anyone
Yeah.
going with her?
And, like, whenever you guys are finished, I'm ready to go. So you can just meet me at the mayor's office. Or...
Anybody going with Alex?
Does anybody
To
want to
read
come
books.
with me?
Hell
Cam
no.
is down for that.
But you can't, because
Yeah.
you're busy ritual
Khalid will
casting.
pick up the ritual from there, don't worry.
Yeah.
So, let's talk about equipment. Do we have keys to these rooms?
Yeah, you would have gotten keys to the room.
I'm trying to, I don't want to carry all this shit on me. Because, again, Tab's gonna punish me.
I'm going to the mayor's office.
But I also don't want to leave this magic greatsword sitting in the floor of an inn when I'm not going to be anywhere near it.
Hide it under the bed.
It's like the first place people look. Kelly's going to look around in Elsa's room for any loose boards and
Is
on
there
the
an
wall,
armoire or
like-
something in the room?
You know how big a greatsword is, right?
This thing's like 7 foot long.
Oh, it's big. Okay. Good lord. Who would want to carry that? Anyway, I'm going to the mayor's office.
Alex is going to the mayor's office by herself. Khalid is crawling around on the floor, pulling out floorboards.
Just trying to see if there's a loose one, or if there's somewhere I can hide something.
Do an investigation check.
I'm waiting for him to just say, "Oh yeah, you find something."
No, it's pretty sturdy. Nice. It's a nice building.
There's nothing anywhere that looks like I could. There's no.
So, am I able to talk while I ritual cast, or am I like?
I mean, you're pretty tunnel vision. You
Okay.
can't have a conversation.
Never mind. Never mind.
You can shout.
So is it obvious her room is like pouring smoke out and stuff? Or...
The window's open, so it's fine.
I imagine it's not like a tire fire in there.
It's like
It's more like incense.
it's like walking into a Bath and Body Works. Just
Yeah.
Cam will go pester her with a few questions. Will I get high off this? Can I sip this and go, ooh, see pretty colors?
I don't know this. I don't know what you mean.
Concentration broken. Start over.
Ah! Shh. Shh. Shh.
Okay, am I
So
at the mayor's
you're at the mayor's office. You stick your head in. Everybody's upstairs. Yada yada yada
Okay.
yada.
I'm gonna call up the stairs again. I am so sorry.
Yes.
I have found out some more information, and it has led me back to you yet again. I'm sure that you're tired of seeing us this morning.
Well, kind of motions. The door is open.
Right, I
You
understand.
could come
but
on up.
I appreciate that. Let me tell you what I'm looking for. So I had a conversation with the bartender over at the Rusty Nail, and he mentioned that some of the Hawk talked about a castle in the north. Do you know anything about that? He did say that the mayor was quite the local historian as well, so I was wondering if perhaps he had some of his papers or books here, or where I might take a look at some of those things.
Uh, uh, Well, kind of motions towards a door there opposite. Like we haven't gone through his bedroom yet, but he might have something in there. But castle, you say?
Yeah, a castle.
Dawn Deep?
Is there a castle in Dawn Deep?
I haven't visited, but I was just guessing. I don't know. That's the
Well, I
closest
don't
think.
know if it's in Dawn Deep or not, because apparently the mercenaries never actually spoke about Dawn Deep specifically, but they did mention a castle, and they did mention something to the north of the quarry.
Well, I mean, there are ruins scattered
Right.
across.
So,
If it's a standing castle, I don't know, but it's very possible that
it's a ruin.
some kind of old ruins they found.
Right. He also suggested I speak to old Ames out on the edge of town.
Oh,
Which of
he's
course
been around.
Yeah, of course I'm going to do that. But do you mind if I take a peek at some of the old mayor's papers and books and things?
Certainly, I mean, just leave it. But he just waves towards the door. Yeah, out here is
Okay.
mostly his paperwork, but he has books and things in there.
Okay, yes, absolutely. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And I will try to be quick so that you can get back to. I'm sure that you have quite a lot to do to sort of organize things and start getting the town back in order. I'm gonna go and I wanna look for anything that's got local histories, anything that might mention castles or ruins or any notes, books, papers, anything that might have any information about mines or what we're looking.
Do an investigation check.
Really wish somebody would come with me. Son of a bitch.
We're just
So,
crushing the rolls this round.
yeah, you're a 6, 9, 3. Great. So you look through. There's a number of books. Some of them seems to be handwritten. He's written himself. But as you flip through them, you don't see anything. Just
Is there anything
standing
that-
out to you. But if not, just sitting through and actually reading through and see if it mentions something.
Right.
You can't
Is
find
there
any.
anything that just seems to be like local history, something that I could take back for Elspeth to do a deeper dive on, or anything?
You find 2 books. One of them, basically called Falkhaven History,
Mm-hmm.
and the other one's called The Ruins of the Everpeak.
Ruins of the Everpeak. Okay. Alright. Anything else? Anything else that sticks out?
That seems to be fun. Used glancing through it. It seems to be like local history. Accounting of what mayors were good, were bad. Who ruled the city when some stuff about when the House Falk kind of died out. Falkhaven was on their own.
Right.
Stuff like that.
Okay. I'm gonna ask Tavik and Whale if they mind if I borrow these books. I found a couple of things, but I wanted to get a member of our party to take a look at them. Do you mind if I take these 2 books with me?
So talking about us kind of look at each other, and Tom just kind of shrugs and.
I mean, I'll certainly return them.
Yeah, bring him back, but you can borrow him.
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
I don't really know who Ogden's closest family is here, but we should probably get his things to him at some point.
Right, of course. I will bring them back. I just want to see if there's anything that might be useful to us in sort of sorting out this town problem, so that you guys can get back to normal, business as usual and things of that nature. All right.
If it helps you, sure.
That would be wonderful. We will bring them back. I can't promise it will be today, but because it might take us some time to get through it. I don't know how dry they are, but we'll certainly bring them back as quickly as possible.
Of course.
Thank you. I'm gonna head back to the tavern. Hey, I got a question, guys. Did we split up those healing potions last time?
I believe so, yes. I have one of them.
Okay.
Oh yeah, Cam took one, but I forgot to put it on her. No, I didn't.
We had
I have
4
it.
total. I would have kept
I
at
have
least
one.
And then I know that.
I think Merkin has one.
Did Merkin take
You
one of the
damn-
healing potions as well?
You're damn right I did.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think he has the one from the goblins.
Right. Okay. So I have one. The Khalid has one. Cam has one. Okay.
Yep.
I wanted to keep track of how many I have because.
That's a good thing.
Yeah. Before I go back to the end, though, I do want to swing back by Tamora's and ask her if she does have any healing potions or anything like that in stock.
Yeah, she looks up and I think there's a couple back there.
Yeah,
How many were you looking for?
Can you tell me what you have? I mean, I'm looking for any kind of healing potions. We're gonna be going out, and things are a little bit tricky out there, so I just want to make sure that we're well prepared.
I'll check. And she walks off. And she comes back. And she holds 2 healing potions.
Yeah, they're just regular healing potions.
As far as I know.
They're just regular ones. Okay.
Yes.
How much would that be?
It would be 100 gold.
Really?
Well, with a discount, and everything. 75. Because that's insane.
Those are expensive.
These are a lot. I can really only take one of them right now. How much would
Oh.
one be?
There'd be 50 silver.
No, well, it would be if it's 37.5 gold, it would be 37 gold and 5 silver, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. All right. I'll take one of them, but we might be back for the other. Somebody else might want it. 64 minus.
All right.
Down to 27 gold. We need to go. Okay.
Just go kill things.
Why am I'm not losing very much weight when I'm spending all this money. How much does this stuff weigh?
50 coins is 1 pound. So if you have spending 50 gold, that's 1 pound.
Oh, so yeah, so the weight is in other stuff. Okay. Gotcha. All right, and I'm gonna tuck my other potions, and sort of head back to the inn.
You come in, Elspeth sitting on the floor. 10 more minutes. Let's see. Let's see.
Am I
what have
really
been
supposed to get high off this? Yeah,
I
this takes a while.
I was thinking that she'd be done by now. But I
Well, let's
was
see, you went
speeding
over
down the
there.
road.
Let's see. You went over to the mayor's house. You're probably gone for about 40 minutes, 45 minutes, let's say. So, Elspeth's on the short end of finishing up.
What kind of mattress do these rooms have? Is it just hay? or is it
Hey,
like an actual like contained mattress?
Well, it's like fabric wrapped around hay.
All right. So Khalid is laying on his back, trying to fit the great sword into like the under part of the bed.
Important note. Are we talking about Elspeth's bed?
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, yeah,
Thank-
you'd fit it.
Thankfully for Khalid, she's spaced out.
Yeah.
Why are you doing that?
Doing what?
That?
I'm gonna come in with the books and say, well, I was really hoping that Elspeth would take a look at these, but she seems
She's
to still
busy.
be working on that.
I don't want to carry this sword around, but I want to keep it.
I'm sorry. I thought she said this was gonna take 10 minutes.
It's a very long 10 minutes. I think time works differently in the north.
Does it? Interesting. I shall make a note of that. Should I ever go further north?
I'm not sure they have clocks.
Mm. So,
So have I managed to stash it?
Sure.
I was like, sure,
You,
whatever.
you tuck it in there. You can't really see it from the outside. No. Mattress is a little lumpy, maybe, but you know.
That's not going to be comfortable.
Well, I don't intend for her to sleep on it. If we're going somewhere, I don't want to have to carry this thing around and
Oh
worry
my-
about it the whole way.
This shit stinks.
It's like burnt oregano.
What do we?
Kim's probably getting lightheaded just from going.
Does anyone actually know what she's doing?
No.
I don't know, but I hope she
And
jumps
Alex
soon.
is not asking any questions
Maybe
either.
we should have asked before we
Longest
signed
damn
on for 10 minutes.
of my life.
I like how you're all staying in the room too.
Oh yeah, this is the fucking war room now.
Kim has nothing else to do.
Well, we were discussing things while she did it. I mean, you know.
It's far more entertaining to annoy Khalid.
Anyway, I'm gonna hold out my books. And I'm gonna say I got a history of Falkhaven and a book that is called The Ruins of the Everpeak. That seems like a winner, but perhaps Elspeth will want to take a look once she's
You could ask
finished.
Merkin. He might read.
He might read.
Who's literate in the room?
Cam sure as hell doesn't want to read.
Merkin, did you want to take a look?
I could take a look.
Okay. And I'm gonna hand him the books then.
Alright, you take the books. Are you like settling into reading? Because you know they're pretty sizable volumes.
Are we just staying here one more day? Is basically what's going on.
No,
We're
we're
waiting on
leaving.
Elspeth to read.
And then we're
10 minutes.
leaving.
And which actually takes an hour and 10 minutes.
I just want to know how absorbed is Elspeth in.
I mean, she's pretty focused. She's aware of her
So
surroundings.
like, oh, okay. I was supposed to say, because Cam would go over and start like trying to braid her hair. Get bored after a while.
Yes, you know, if she breaks concentration, you know, she fails.
I like squint my eyes and try to concentrate real hard now. Like, focus.
It's building character.
It's like ritual casting hard mode.
Roll a Constitution save.
Oh. I just start
No,
swapping.
Stir.
All right, and y'all you sit around until she's done.
Yeah, I mean, Merkin's gonna take a look at those books while she
Sitting
finishes.
is a
Okay.
nice way to put
It's
it.
probably
Cam is
about
not
half-
sitting.
After Alex returns, it's probably about 15 minutes more before Elspeth is done. And are you starting to read the book, Merkin, or
Yes,
which one?
Ruins of the Everpeak.
the runes book.
All right, roll an investigation check.
You said investigation.
Yes.
All right, in moment.
I hope you're better at it than I was. Oh, fuck no.
You started reading it, and you know
Eyes glaze over.
You don't get very
Boring
far
stuff.
before Elspeth's done.
So, like, even if I roll a 1, I will still get the highest roll.
You know, it's pretty dry. You know, it's a lot of it is like almost architectural descriptions of like ruined buildings, like describing where the piles of rock had fallen and such that it's slow going.
Thank
So-
God Elspeth is about done.
So
It's ridiculous.
Elspeth finishes up. Ivan kind of pops into appearance, sitting on her shoulder and,
As a weasel.
as a weasel. Okay.
And she
Hey.
just squeals and starts petting him.
Yeah, he kind of leans in and rubs his cheek against Elspeth.
Oh, I have
Where did
missed
the
you.
bird go?
I've missed you so much. It has been so hard with you gone.
I thought you had a bird.
This is Ivan.
But I thought Ivan was a bird.
Ivan
I
has
All your pets say.
distinctly less feathers.
In truth, Ivan is a fae. It is a little complicated.
So I have to go back to.
Well, Cam will start petting
You have to
Ivan
what?
anyway.
I pass him over to Cam. He is
What does
very
that say?
sweet.
Says
What?
broke up.
What does that say?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Nothing. I'm just failing at everything.
So Merkin looks distinctly glazed at this point, right?
Guys, I've
Yeah.
discovered something important.
What's that?
What's that?
This book is boring as shit.
So you're saying it's
And-
perfect for Elspeth.
And does Elspeth notice that he mentions a book?
Oh, we have books.
Yes, I brought you some books.
Oh,
We have to
Alex,
return them.
this
but-
is such a better day than yesterday.
These, I think
So
that
how
these
do
are
I-
gonna. How do you what?
Nothing.
You need to. I think your sensitivity on your mic is jacked up.
Anyway, I'm gonna take the books from Merkin and I'm gonna hand them to Elston. One is the history of Falkhaven,
All right.
which might have some information, but the other one is called the Ruins of Everpeak.
I start flipping through the ruins.
Did you hear anything when I was talking earlier? I know you were very absorbed. I just don't know
No.
if you heard any of the conversation.
I'm afraid I was
Okay.
very focused.
No, understandable. I did find out that the Crimson Hawks, when they were at the bar, they would sometimes talk about their patrols out in the forest and up at the quarry, like north of the quarry, but they specifically mentioned a castle. But everybody around town doesn't know of a standing castle, so we're wondering if perhaps it's a ruined one, because there's apparently quite a few ruins around here. So I'm just something north of the quarry.
So for what it is worth, before when we were there, I was able to see the corruption lines.
Okay.
It is possible that I could follow them for nearly an hour to help lead us to wherever the source may be.
Well, I'm not sure that. I mean, I do think that we need to do that at some point, but if I don't want to, I don't know how much that exposes you to the
Yeah.
corruption.
I am already found out I am going to the tower. Do not have much to lose.
I have nothing to live for.
And I'm going to look at her and confuse. I mean, I don't understand why that's a problem, but okay. Because of course I know what goes on at the tower, right? Like I would know.
Orgies mostly.
What you're told.
Yeah,
Propaganda.
what I'm told. Okay, yeah. But okay.
Well, let
I'm-
me see what might be here.
Yeah. So I don't know how long it would take you to sort of look at that.
I start flipping.
But we do also need to talk.
Roll
to
investigation.
mom outside of town.
I'm doing the ruins one.
Okay.
Oh, this is a very interesting book.
Yeah, Merkin didn't think so.
That book is boring as hell.
So Elspeth zones out, just engrossed in this fascinating book, and a lot of it talks about Dondeep specifically, which seems to be like the major ruin. You know, a lot of like descriptions of what it is and how it's been, what rockets made out of, and such. But
Which I share with everyone. All the people. Did you know the foundations have sand in them?
Oh, okay.
but also about halfway through, find a mention of what was it called now?
Down deep.
Redmond Castle,
Okay.
which
Redmond?
Redmond, Mont, yes. So when Aedor was kind of getting resettled, there was, you know, a lot of warring factions and such, and Redmond Castle was built kind of like almost like a supply outpost, and it's located north of Falkhaven.
Okay. I share that with everyone.
And their house sword was a glaive, right?
They were specifically known slaves.
It sounds like there was specific.
Hey, I
no
tried
play.
for you, Cat.
I cannot believe we get a magic weapon and Tab has the fucking heartlessness to make it a great
Something
sword.
None of us
To make it something that none of us can use.
Like-
I mean, it's not even
Yeah,
a damn
can't even
dagger
pick it
or
up.
short
I
sword.
mean, I don't know what happened. I'll look at that.
Can I start going through the Falkhaven one too, real quick,
Sure.
and see if any of like the chapters catch my eye dealing with that? Do I need to roll another investigation?
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
What are you looking for?
The same, like the castle and the Dawn Deep, and see if anything or any information dealing with like Falkhaven during the Rend. Anything that has to do with like that could lead me towards the corruption or towards like I don't know,
Okay.
Dawn Deep stuff. So
Okay.
Better than us.
Yeah.
So Falkhaven is basically a pre-rent city that was resettled. It was basically built up on ruins of an old town that was destroyed when they found it. And you can still kind of see that around town. There's some buildings, just foundations laying around,
okay.
and so it deals a lot with that. It was resettled about 150 years ago. It was by the House Falk and their leaders, etc. And they also kind of details basically their line died out at some point and was left, nobody kind of, it's kind of a town in the middle of nowhere, super interested in coming and maintaining it, so it manor fell in disrepair, etc. and so on, but you don't really find any other
Okay.
mentions of like more than surroundings other than
Okay.
that specific, the immediate town.
I know that these are probably of great interest to you since I know that you enjoy books, but since it seems like the only information we have is about this Redmond Castle, perhaps we should go and speak to Old Ames and head that direction.
I am willing to follow wherever we are going next.
Where was Dawn Deep in comparison to all this?
To the northwest.
So it was that way too.
Yeah, it's
I think
kind
we
of
should
that
head
way.
that way.
So I guess we're gonna take what is it, an hour walk to the quarry again, and then try to find our way to Redmond. Well, we need to go to Ames first. So
I have a lower question tab that I may need to
Yes.
roll on. So with regards to like what we may know about the Rend, is there any connection between like bad things that could have happened nearby and cities being destroyed, or like do we know anything, or is it all just kind of cloaked in mystery?
Roll an Arcana check.
Okay.
So there are a lot of theories about what happened.
Okay.
In general, what you can kind of puzzle together from like everybody agrees on, it was some kind of magical cataclysm, basically, which ranges from people thinking the gods punished people for using magic to, me just getting out of hand and blowing up everybody up and so on.
Okay. Okay.
But there's no like unified knowledge in, at least as far as you've stumbled on, or like public knowledge about what really happened.
Okay.
Other
So
than it basically depopulated entire continents when it happened.
so historically, is it just like things just kind of like massive explosions, or was there like an onslaught of creatures? Do we know anything like, or both? Or I don't know yet. Ask me later.
No, it's kind of both, because
Okay.
some places you can see like the roofs almost look scorched. You can find some places like that. It almost looks like they've been burned out. Almost like the bomb went off nearby.
Okay.
Other places they just kind of, doesn't seem touched, other than that's nobody has been there anymore.
Okay. Okay. Awesome. Thank you.
So is everybody ready to go? Because I think that the sooner we get things taken care of, the better this town is going to feel with us gone from here.
What time is it after all doing all this and
You're
reading and
probably about
everything?
noon,
So still pretty early.
Yeah.
creeping up on noon. You only spend a couple hours maybe, doing everything. 2-3 hours.
Does everybody think we should go and talk to Ames, or should we just head out?
Well, if Ames is to the north, I mean,
Yeah, Ames. I mean, he's pretty close to town. I mean, it's no town.
I say we get our things ready to go, and we stop by Ames on the way to Redmont.
All right. Sounds good to me. Anybody want to? I mean, is there anything else anybody else needs to do? The Tavik said that we could borrow those books for as long as we needed to. So if you don't want to carry them with us,
Oh, I think it is fine. I will have room to carry them with us.
oh, okay. You
They
seemed
are
to be
simple.
weighted down quite a bit earlier, but
Well,
okay.
I can leave other things. It will be fine. And I leave like my
Alright.
fiction novels and
Rations.
rations. The bedroll.
God, never.
Should we get like to try to see how much a cart would cost?
I don't think that's a good idea.
I mean,
It'll
why-
slow us down considerably.
And plus, then we have a cart to worry about. So, plus I've decimated my gold, so if we could find another source of gold,
she's
that would
crying
be
'cause she's
excellent.
locked out.
Why do you
What's
keep barking the dog out? Poor dog.
I know, right?
Well, it sounds like a personal problem there, having spent your own gold.
Indeed. I didn't suggest that it was anybody else's problem. I was just saying that finding another source of gold is desirable.
I imagine.
I'm just saying that I'm a failed merchant. I failed at it. I have more gold than you all the time.
Yes, well, I also
Maybe you fail because you have to spend money to make money.
indeed. I purchased another healing potion, and
If you
that
have
was
to
quite
spend money to
expensive.
make money, she'd be freaking rich.
Yeah, I know. No, I purchased another healing potion, and those are quite expensive. So
and given
that
our
reminds
previous
me-
encounters, we might need it.
yeah, Tamora has another one, but I could not afford it. So if anybody else wants to buy it, she does have another, and I'm sure she'd be delighted to sell it.
Well, where are we going?
I think we should go to Ames. If anybody wants to stop in at Tamora's on the way and pick up that healing potion, you should definitely do it.
I want my buckler, but I'm not gonna get it apparently. I won't be ready till tonight.
Yeah. It's gonna be a while longer.
You can use my shield in the meantime.
What do you have, like a tower shield?
No, it's just a regular like kite or whatever.
Yeah.
Hide behind it.
Oh, you can use it.
It's. I mean, in 5e, shields are just shields. It doesn't matter
Yeah,
what
there's.
they are.
I mean, it cover you good.
You know, do your stealth check after you hide behind the shield. You know, it'll work out.
Why is that shield walking across the field?
All right, to Ames.
To Ames. So everybody following? Nobody's doing anything else?
Nope.
No, I'm going with him.
Trying to get to the
Alright.
combat. Let's move it along.
Yeah. This has
Alright.
been a whole lot of shopping and shit.
I knew this was gonna be a shopping episode. That's why I said we should have done this in chat.
I
You would have missed out on all kinds of things. All right, so you leave town, or head out of town, and there's little farms dotted along the sides over there, and you kind of got a description from whoever that guy was. I don't remember his name. Did
I don't know his
still?
name. I didn't
Yeah,
get his name.
never mind. You don't know his name.
The bartender.
Yeah, the bartender, and it's a 5-10 minute walk from town over there. Farmhouse.
Mm.
Which little garden outside and field growing stuff, or not right now actually, it's fall, it's past harvest, it's fallow.
Is there like any smoke coming from the chimney or anything? Does it look like anybody's home?
Yeah, there's no smoke coming from the chimney.
Alright, I'm gonna go up and knock on the door.
All right, so there's a minute, and then there's a older gentleman, kind of dressed as a farmer, long shoulder length hair, kind of a scraggly white beard, some couple of scars across his face, and that kind of opens the door and goes and kind of looks at Alex, and then looks past you and at everybody else, and yes.
Hello, Ames, is it? We've been directed to you, as somebody of an expert on the area around here. Are you Ames?
Yeah.
Alright.
You're the mages that came to town.
I'm sorry, we're what?
The mages that came to town?
I'm not a mage, but I mean, no, we're not mages, but
That's beside the point.
that's beside the point. No, my name is Alex Harley, and these are my compatriots here. We're trying to sort out this issue with the town, and I understand that you're something of an expert on the local area. We're specifically looking for a castle, or a ruined castle, and wonder if perhaps you know anything about any ruined castle to the north of here that might be near some tunnels or mines or something like that.
He just stands silent for a moment. I just kind of drift along all of you and just goes, how far are we talking?
Well, it would have been north of the quarry.
I don't know anything about any mines or nothing. There's a old castle. It's, if you want to call it that, it's a ruin. Probably a couple of hours north of the quarry.
Right, is there anything else around that castle that you can think of?
Nothing that's worth anything now.
How old is this guy?
I mean, he's a decent, he's probably pushing, he's mid to late 60s probably.
Okay, so he's not in any condition to go tramping about in the woods anymore.
No.
Okay.
It's ageist.
Got any good stories?
Just ice kind of drift down the cam and goes, no.
Ah.
Insight check.
Oh my lord.
Sure. Roll an insight check.
I want to roll an insight check on that too, actually.
He's full of great stories. He just won't tell you them.
Fuck that guy.
Jesus. Anywho,
You should intimidate him.
Tell me goddamn stories, old man.
Smash his nose.
flip his table. It's gonna be great. Anyway, all right. And you said it's about 2-3 hours north of the quarry. Then, would that be the Redmont Castle ruin?
I think that's what they call it. Maybe.
Indeed. All right. Well, you've been very kind, very helpful. I appreciate your time, and me recognizing I'm not gonna get anything else out of this guy. I'm just
Alright.
gonna.
Then you just gotta shut the door.
Oh God.
Let's just say that.
I think he's
wow.
the backup for us failing miserably on the history books.
So Elspeth is
Yeah.
going to look at Khalid and be like, "Do you think it is my fault that he was so upset because I have been so open with my talents?"
No, I think he's just
No.
ornery because he's old.
That is a little
Indeed.
ageist, I think.
I'm sorry, what?
It is when you are mean to people because they are older than you.
Oh, well, that's because old people are ornery.
You know they say the same thing of tieflings.
That we're ornery?
Mm.
That's because we have to deal with old people.
That's a little bit racist.
I have
Cam's
even
gonna walk over and just poke Khalid in the side and cast prestidigitation and make him shiny and pretty and smell good because you stink.
And his
I
hair
am-
waves in the wind.
I am starting
Shirt
to
falls
see.
open.
I'm beginning to see a correlation between Khalid's mood and if he is having to carry all his shit around. I think the weight makes him grouchy.
It weighs on him.
I'm fine.
Wait on it. All right. So it looks like we're in for a. I'm gonna. Do we want horses? I don't really.
Horses
think
are expensive and it would take time.
Cam was gonna go over to Stump and say, "Hey, can I ride on your shoulders?"
Also, when you were up in the quarry, you started your escapades in there. It's not like there was a road.
Right. Okay. So it looks like we've got a 2-3 hour tramp, and we probably are going to run into some creatures. If those bull were any indication, so we need to be on our toes. You missed that, Merkin. We left you at the inn for that excursion.
I mean, I caught up just fine. No thanks.
Well, I appreciate that. You came at the perfect time, too. Not
I
gonna
always do.
lie. Not gonna lie. So, I guess let's head on out, if everybody's good with that.
Can
Stump,
Cam ride on
Stump, you've
Stump's
been very
shoulders?
quiet.
Yeah, he'll let Cam ride on his shoulders.
Cam will
Stump,
play
do
the
you have
pan
any
flute while
opinion or
they walk along.
any thought about what you would like to do? I'm
Well, thinking that someday I'd like to settle down and get married. Maybe
I mean, in the more
have
immediate.
a child or two.
Thank you.
Cam is gonna play Stump's favorite song.
Thank you, Stump. I appreciate your life goals and all. But I meant in the more immediate time. I'm like, do you have opinion about these plans? Do you want to? I mean, do you think that we should do something else, or does it sound good to you?
Well, I think I better go with you so that when you get hurt,
I appreciate that as well. Thank you. Okay, so I guess we're going that way then, since Stump is, this is just another step towards his eventual goal of settling down with wife, 2 kids, and a picket fence.
You gotta have goals.
I mean,
I
not the
mean,
worst idea.
thank you for showing an interest, Alex.
anytime, Stump, anytime at all.
Cam will give Alex a thumbs up.
Anytime at all.
Anybody who's nice to her buddy, you know.
No, Alex finds Stump really kind of amusing, and in a fun, amused sort of way. Like, he's like he's a little bit special, and she finds that kind of endearing. So, all right. So are we heading
So-
out? Like, let's go. Tramp, 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 tramp.
You trample on
Okay.
towards. Where are we going?
I want I want to go quietly. So I want to stealth, and also I want to be keeping an eye out for anything.
So y'all be moving slowly.
Keep in mind, yeah, if we stealth, it's gonna take a lot longer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's slow.
I
I'm
think
not stealthy.
so. Because of your dungeon delver, don't you get like some benefit to movement?
She can like check for traps at normal speed without disadvantage or something like that.
Right. So,
We
I
can travel at a normal pace and not receive any disadvantage to stuff.
Right. So I have no penalty on my passive perception.
Right.
So, like, if we're traveling at a fast pace, normally we would have like a -5 to our passive perception. I have no penalty traveling at a fast pace.
Okay, but if we travel normally, then we don't.
I mean, it's just, I mean, whatever. Yeah, I think my passive
Is
perception.
it the
would
same
just
thing
be
we
my
were
passive
just shooting?
perception.
What?
What?
Nothing.
I am so fucking confused.
I think
You
Sam's
can't
playing a
keep
different
doing
game.
that. Is he playing Mech Warrior right now?
Every now and again, says just something completely not related to whatever's going on, and it's like nothing.
But it's like it could be taken in. Okay, sorry.
Okay.
I say let's just move at travel pace. Excuse me, at a normal pace. Then
The
we'll
only
go-
thing is, I have advantage on saving throws to avoid or resist traps, and then I have resistance to damage dealt by traps.
Well, that's not.
So,
That, yeah.
so
that's-
it's only any good if I find traps, or if
I don't think
we
you
set
should
off
try
a
to
trap.
stealth while we're traveling.
No, I was talking about the last bullet on your dungeon delver,
Yeah, it's the
not the
it
first
doesn't
two.
it doesn't penalize my passive perception.
Right, but we're gonna be moving normally anyway, so we won't. None of us will have the
I mean,
penalty, and Stump
yeah,
will save us
so-
all.
Yeah, I think my passive is a little bit lower than his.
All right. So you're heading out towards the castle,
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
or Dawn Deep. I don't know. I got confused somewhere.
I assume we're
uh,
headed
like-
towards the quarry first.
Or
Yeah,
Right.
Is
I
the
mean,
quarry
towards
on the
quarry-
way?
Of course, the quarry. No, the quarry is to the north, and the
Yeah.
castle is further north from there.
so yes, it's on the way.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I want to, like I said, I want to keep an eye out for any dangers. I'm like going to be actively looking.
I'm not. I'm playing with my weasel.
All right. I would like.
Is that code?
And they,
I would like somebody. Well, Alex, roll perception check, and somebody roll me survival. That. And then somebody just roll me a straight D20.
Can Cam do the survival?
Someone roll a straight D20.
Yeah.
Well, this is gonna suck. Okay, it's not bad.
not too bad.
Yeah, we
Alright.
say that, but if it's on a chart, it doesn't matter.
It
Oh,
will
shit.
watch out.
Yeah.
Keep a good lookout from Stump's shoulders.
13 means nothing in no context.
Well, if I recall, all the charts have increasing shittiness as you get higher on the chart.
Stump and Cam are the.
So we're above average shittiness right now.
Yes.
All right. So you head out. Kind of start out the road. The road kind of northwest out of town, then it breaks off. One head to keep going northwest and then north towards the quarry. So it takes about an hour of your time. You know, you don't have any real issues making it back to the quarry. Everything's kind of where you left it there. Doesn't seem like anybody's been back.
There's no goblins, no nothing like that.
No goblins, no nothing like that. In fact,
Merkin looks a lot more like with it.
Does he? Because we're not so sure.
I got dragged into Railjack on Warframe by like my
Every so often, you just spout something completely
I
random.
had,
You're like,
I had
nothing.
Team speak up with a different key, and I'm like, well, I don't need to shop for anything, so I'll just say something funny once in a while. Sorry, couldn't be helped. I owed them because I skipped out last time.
Yeah,
Alright.
no problem.
So Elspeth
So-
is gonna go to Cam and say, "Do you think that you would be able to follow their tracks, the goblins, and maybe we would see where they came from? Is that something you can do?"
Maybe.
I mean, I could not. It is not a judgment if you can't. It's just a thought.
I can try.
How good a tracker is Cam? Has Cam been tracking before?
I have +1 in survival, so
Cam
some.
can do anything.
No, I'm just talking about background-wise. Has Cam been tracking people before?
Well, I don't know. I worked on a farm, so
Might have done some bunny hunting. But I mean, there's still like goblin bodies laying around. Well, I don't know what Stump did with them actually.
He set them all up.
Yeah, he
I
put
think
them all on the
set them
beds.
all
That's right.
up. Yeah, I think he set them all up against walls or in beds and things.
But yeah, you can see where they're were coming from, and they were coming from the north. So, and especially at the start, their tracks are not particularly hard to follow.
they were coming from the north.
Well, that is promising.
Yes, I mean everything seems to be pointing that direction. Very good, thank you, Cam. I think that
You
we
hear
need
that,
to just
Stump?
keep pressing
I
on.
did good.
I think we just need to keep pressing on. Then there doesn't seem to be anything changing here.
All right, so you go on. I mean, it's a pretty cold day, but it's pretty. Your sun through all the forest.
After we go for about an hour, I would like to cast Detect Magic.
Okay.
And just to see if I can see any trace of like the
An hour from the quarry?
an
or-
hour from the quarry. If we make it
Okay.
that far.
Yeah, you're making it about that far. So you
About
close your
that
eyes.
far, he says.
Yeah. So you close your eyes and you. Why is that light up? Why is your pen lit?
I feel
Wow.
like
That is intense.
right.
It's like a military spotlight too. So you close your eyes and you open them again. And that's how the whites of your eyes, like you normally does, and you can see the desaturated world and these power lines of power just going through. And it's like before, you can see the little dark taint in it, and
Okay.
it is not much different from when you saw it.
Okay.
It's still kind of, if you look north, you can see it kind of darkening. If you look back where you came from, it can brighten up into this,
Okay.
bright whitish blue that it's usually at.
So I'll tell the party that, it appears, at least from the magical side, we are continuing in the direction of the storm.
And as you continue, you're just keeping this up, I assume.
For 10 minutes and then I'll let it go.
Right. Okay. So as you go, it's kind of like an ink blot on in the corner of your eye. The whole way you go, you can, it's there, and you can tell something's, not the way it's supposed to be from what you normally know. But it's hard to tell exactly what it is or where it's coming from. Except it seems to be coming somewhere in the north,
Okay.
the way you're going.
Sounds good.
So, and with that, takes you probably about another 45 minutes before you kind of go over a hill, and as you come up over it, you see the ruined castle of Redmont. What
How
you would,
bad- How bad of a
you would
ruin?
assume. Let me look here. It looks to be like centuries old. It's hard. I would tell if it's like a pre-rent building or something later, but it looks to be abandoned for a while.
Do I know from my history? Can I go into this random rant?
Oh yeah, in the book would say they built it like it's probably about 300 years old at this point, but
I start giving them all the details again.
yeah, but it was built post Rend, so it once had like several towers. Most of them are either fallen down or big holes in them. However, the ground structure itself has been shored up with like this rough timber, fabric, hides, logs, whatever they can use to plug it. So you can't look into the ground floor because it's all blocked off.
So it looks like it's been recently done.
And
is that what you're saying? Is it recently, or is it what's the deal? I mean,
it looks kind of like somebody is basically throwing a refuse pile of random stuff or in it, and it's hard to tell how recent that was, but
I mean, but
I was
somebody's
gonna tell Stump because he's observant, but he's not there. Stump.
Yes,
Stump.
yes.
As you come over that hill, since you're taller than everybody else, you can see at the front, you're kind of coming almost directly at the front of it, the main entrance. And there's two large, like rusted iron and timber doors that have collapsed in. And in front of those are two of these large goblins standing, just kind of just hanging out as guards.
I will point it out to my friends.
Camel duck down.
There's two of them?
I'll stop this
Two
now.
goblins.
Why?
She like goes up to try to see better.
You're still a fair bit away, but
Like, how many football fields?
about 2 3/4.
I want to stealth. And then I want. Is
It's
there
not
any...
a spell you cast. What do you mean
I know,
want to
but
stealth?
I want to go closer, but I don't want to call attention to myself.
Are you down and crawling? Are you darting between trees? Are you...
Yeah, so whatever it has to be.
Whatever will make you not get her spotted, sir.
Whatever gives me advantage on the roll.
Before Alex starts belly crawling towards the goblins,
She sticks her fingers in, like, down on moss.
just like starts, starts crushing bark in her hands to get into her hair. But before we charge on into this, do we want to come up with a plan before we do whatever it is that you're doing?
I mean, that would be great, but my experience leads me to believe that there's not going to be much of anything happening if somebody doesn't move first. So,
Well,
I mean,
I'd like to not opt for the stump method of pushing the party forward.
There is an option, but it is a little risky.
What's that?
It is possible for me to make myself look like obsidian.
What?
It is something that I can do. And perhaps I can convince the goblins that if we think these are the same ones, that we are here for something, and maybe I can get them to let us in.
Oh, not literal obsidian.
No.
Got it.
Oh
Okay.
my
Person.
god.
Elspeth turns into a big rock. In
That's
the middle of the
what.
field.
That's legitimately what I thought she was saying. And I'm like, what
You-
fucking power is that?
You have redeeming qualities, Khalid. It is okay for this
Yeah.
one.
It's not my fault he chose a name that was an actual piece of yeah.
It's
Regardless.
one possibility.
Nobody brought Khalid for his intelligence.
That's true. It is a dump stat. Unfortunately, it felt like it was my personal dump stat there for a second. But, so let's say that works, then what?
Then we go in and tell them to take us to the mine or whatever. As I said, it is just one idea. I'm open to others as well. An option.
I mean, okay, so assuming this goes right, we walk up with Obsidian leading us in as his guards or whatever.
I'm going to whip out the Crimson Hawk cloaks.
How many you got?
I think I have 2.
All right.
Didn't
So,
somebody else pick up
if-
some?
So if Cam and I stand on each other's shoulders and put on a trench coat and a cloak,
Well, I mean, if the two of us that are the most likely to be scrutinized wear the cloaks, and Khalid kind of nods over at Stump. I think the rest of you could get by fine, but the problem is Elspeth won't sound like, or will you be able to sound like Obsidian?
What do you think?
Was that what he said? No, he was like, "Oh, get them out of here!" He was very crotchety sounding and kind of would do his voice again, Ken?
It is
No.
possible that I have a cold.
Don't dance on your command. I'm not a monkey.
But
but I want to hear Leah do his voice again.
Yeah.
He's
So-
like, "Paul, get them out of here!" It was very that.
So there is the possibility that Elspeth, wearing Obsidian's visage for a while, would get us close enough that we could ambush the guards right at the gate and not have to deal with them. But I'm not sure. If they speak to us, I think the cover will be blown.
Perhaps. It depends.
Just as
I
a
think.
note, I learned a new trick. I can pretty well be unseen. I could make one of you guys unseen. Invisible.
Still don't know how that gets us past the.
I am
gets us
so
all past the
down
gate.
for that. Invisibility is everything that I wish for in life.
It's a good thing you're a class that has 0 access to it.
Yes.
Invisibility is all I ask for in life, too.
You don't.
It's all cast asks for in life.
This would at least get 2 of us past.
But there's 6 of us.
I mean, I do understand this, but you know.
You can split the party.
If we put 2 cloaks and or it is also possible that I just look like a one of the Crimson Hawks. I do not have to be Obsidian.
Honestly, this sounds just like killing all these guards with extra steps.
That's essentially what this is. I'd rather like to kill them before they sound any alarms. Because
May I ask
I'd
a
rather
question?
not have to siege the castle. What's that, Stump?
I mean,
I have a question.
Hmm.
Are we to assume that this castle has only one door?
That's smart.
Stump again. Always thinking outside the box. Alright.
I don't know. Stump is 6 intelligence. I think you all should disregard that.
But he's very wise.
It's the wisdom.
He does make the int versus wisdom work well in this character.
Yes. So we could use Cam's trick to make someone invisible who's very good at being quiet. Khalid will look over at Alex.
I'm very good at being quiet.
So am I.
There's the point where she rolls a 1.
Yeah,
With
probably.
advantage.
And if I roll a 1, I get to re-roll.
That's true.
That's true.
If I'm invisible, though, do I get advantage on stealth checks? That doesn't make sense.
You still make noise.
I mean, you'll make noise, but unless you'd only need to roll a stealth check if there's any reason anybody would, know about you. If you're just walking up like across a field and up see you, really roll a stealth check.
I mean-
Were there any of the Crimson Hawks that resembled any of our people in any sort of way that I could use with my disguise kit?
I mean, one was a dragon boy, and Khalid is, weird.
That's racist.
Everybody else was like humans, and Alex is a human.
I say I like the invisibility idea. I think Stump is absolutely right. There's likely another way into this place. We just need to give someone the opportunity to search for that entrance. So,
Best person to search for a hidden thing or anything would probably be Alex.
yeah, agreed. She has an oddly attuned sense for
I
that.
have a knack for that.
So why don't we do that? We send Alex in. Alex, please don't die.
I have 2 healing potions, so hopefully that won't happen.
Well, I'm sure the goblins will have something to say about those healing potions.
And if you die, you'll need to make another character with exactly this accent.
Yes. Her sister.
Her sister.
Come
Yeah.
to avenge her.
Well, at least if
Anastasia.
Alex dies, you don't have to worry about any gold pieces with.
Also,
Thank you, Stump.
Also true stuff. Yes.
Very wise.
All right.
Yeah.
Be right back.
Do we? I'm in
Let's do
favor of
this.
this plan, unless anyone has any concerns. Let's
No,
do
I mean,
this.
what could possibly go wrong?
I have no
Everything?
concerns.
While they go look, I can tell you about the flying buttresses and the architecture.
Maybe we should send Elspeth with Alex.
No, thank you. I appreciate that, but I think I'll do better on my own.
I wonder if Elspeth's weasel should go with her.
I have already lost Ivan once recently.
Also, Ivan would not be invisible.
The flying weasel.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay, make me
Alright.
invisible,
What are
Cam.
we doing?
So am I making her invisible?
Yeah, I guess I'm
think
gonna
so.
go check this place out.
can you do yourself and her, or how's that go?
I think she'll do her one.
What was that?
What happened?
I don't know.
I don't know what that was.
That wasn't me.
It's a concentration. So she could cast it at a higher. Oh no,
She
doesn't
don't have a higher
that
level.
Yeah. So. So just one.
So it lasts for an
Unless
hour. You
unless
got,
you
it,
want
you
to
got an
go-
hour.
I mean, I'm definitely willing to go.
Which of you is quieter? Should we have a competition to see?
How long does she have to search?
An
An
hour.
hour.
It is perhaps also important. I guess, Alex, you are able to see the hidden doors and stuff, so you may have an advantage.
I have a knack for that. I have a knack for that. It was definitely one of the things that Father hated the most. Okay, let's.
Just remember that you only have an hour, so if you don't find anything within a
I'll come
reasonable
back.
amount of time,
How big is the perimeter of this castle? I mean, it's pretty large, right?
Yeah, I mean,
The perimeter.
it looks to be about exactly 150 across.
150. I mean, I should be able to get around it in an hour.
Yeah, I mean,
right?
you're about maybe 200 yards away, and then, it's,
All right.
the long side is maybe 100 yards.
All right, I'm gonna square up. I'm ready.
Cam will walk over and slap her on the back and
All right.
Thank you.
Cam walks up and smacks her ass.
Yeah.
Only for a
You disappear.
moment, and the moment's gone.
I don't have to sing. All you guys do.
Dust in the wind.
Lord
Alex
have
is
mercy.
It's gonna be dust in the wind.
While Merkin sings. Goblins
I'm
looks
gonna-
a little confused about it, all this noise coming.
Oh no! You've done called their attention to us. Oh, all right. I'm gonna head towards the.
So you
Ruins.
walk down there, you just throw a stealth.
Don't fail me now.
don't fuck up.
Elspeth is 100%
Yeah.
fucking architecture.
It's almost like you're invisible.
Almost like I'm invisible.
So,
But I'm also very silent.
also, roll a perception check just for funsies.
21.
All right. So as you get closer, you walk across the. It's kind of tucked down like in almost like a valley.
Right.
And as you get closer and walk down there in the forest kind of somewhere, you can see the guards. First, you can see the guards are standing. They're kind of hanging against the walls in the entrance there, and there's this big rope between them, just going up over the roof and disappearing up on the roof. Also, you can see there's all these arrow slits and what's part of the towers and sides that are still
Right.
standing all around the building. As you walk down on the right side of it, there is a staircase kind of leading up, and there's another door in there.
Is there anything around that door?
No, it's just kind of tucked in, kind of like a back door. There's like a wall coming out, the staircase
so,
up. And
this is on like the opposite side from where the goblins were.
if the goblins are on the west side, let's say the goblins on the west side, 'cause that's the way I'm looking.
Right.
Then this is on the south side.
Then there's nothing around there on that side. Can I get to
No.
those stairs?
Yeah.
Can I check that door?
Yeah,
I
it's
wanna-
metal.
I'm gonna check it for traps. I want to check it for lock.
It's locked.
It's locked. Is it trap?
Roll an investigation check.
I should have put some... Oh fuck.
Doesn't seem trapped.
Can't we use lucky on her to let her?
You guys wouldn't know
No.
because you'd have no idea where I'm at.
You're
or
way
what...
too far away even.
Can get spidey senses.
I can't use lucky on her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry,
it's-
Alex.
I don't have that feat.
Thank God I have advantage on saving throws and resistance to damage from traps.
Because your ass is about to get blown up.
If she opens the door, does she remain invisible?
I would imagine. It's only
Yeah, I
gonna
think
be
unless
if
unless you attack something, I think it's.
Okay. Well,
She lies dying on the ground. We can't see
um,
for an hour.
well, it's okay. I'm gonna try to pick the lock
All right.
as quietly as possible.
All right. Give me a feed. Let's see. What was that?
you
Nice.
like she started off with 2 great rolls and then kind of.
Went to crap.
What's the -1?
I don't know. It's probably it's probably my strength. The only thing that I have a negative in is strength, so that's got to be the strength
Why would
plus
it be
my
strength?
It's strength plus intelligence plus strength plus intelligence plus I guess no. I don't
Why
know
is your
anything.
strength factoring into those tools?
Yeah.
I don't-
Yeah, they should not.
Are you aggressively lockpicking the door?
Don't know.
It's actually an ice pick.
Can you
I
not?
just-
Can you not set? It should probably be Dex or intelligence.
I don't know what the deal is. I just it's just a thieves' tools.
I mean, either way, without a -1, it gets 12. So
Well, no, if it's supposed to be her dex added, because it should
Dex is
be.
probably +3.
Yeah, so it should be dex plus proficiency. So it should be 11 plus 3 plus 2. Or,
Hold on.
Yeah, it should be using dexterity. So
excuse me,
what's
10
your
plus
dex?
3 plus 2.
My dex is 16. I have a 3 modifier.
Okay, so that's 15. So it takes you probably about a minute or so until you hear this click of the door open.
Okay, and I'm gonna take a glance around, make sure nobody's around again.
Not where you're at? No, there's nobody there.
Alright, I'm gonna slip in the door. See what I can see.
So you unlock the door. Opening the door, it's kind of stuck.
Is it
So you're gonna have to force it if you're.
Don't force the door.
Skadoosh.
Oh
Get on to it.
God. So there's no way for me to open this door quietly. Then, is what you're saying.
It's not nicely hung, well-oiled hinges. It's been there for a while.
I
It's
have.
settled.
Wait. I have a flask of oil. Can I oil those hinges?
You're welcome to try.
I mean,
I mean,
I would like to try to do that.
Sure.
I'm just throwing it out there that we cannot see you. We have no idea where you are. And we cannot save you.
I'm not suggesting that I get caught, but I mean, if we're gonna go through this door,
I mean,
then we want to be able to get through it.
yeah, but Stumper I could kick that bitch in.
So, are you oiling the hinges? Gap on the side there. You can.
I mean, can I hear anything on the other side of the door? It's a metal door, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's a
but
pretty
is
heavy-duty door.
Is there anything like on the side? I mean, this is a ruin, so I imagine there's like holes in the wall, or
They're covered up.
Everything's covered up, but it's covered up with like refuse and stuff, right?
Timbers, logs. You know, put some canvas over some stuff. And especially here, there's this section is pretty intact.
In this section.
It's mostly there's like towers in the corners and stuff that's mostly fallen over. Just
It
midsection
is like 12:30 at night. If we want to find a stopping point, maybe this door is a good one.
All right, I'm gonna go back over and tell him about the door. I got it unlocked. I can't open the door. It's without causing a little bit of a racket, and I'm not sure what's on the other side because it's a big, thick metal door. I could oil the hinges. I don't know how much that would help.
Where are you right now?
I'm going to. I'm gonna. I am.
It's really very unnerving for you to just walk
I'm
up and
going
start
to
talking. You really
almost
can't do that in these
directly-
sorts of situations.
I'm gonna go almost direct. I'm gonna go almost. I'm gonna go all the way right in front of Khalid. I'm gonna go right here. Right here.
Alright. Alright.
Boop the snoot.
So
That counts as an attack, so she's immediately visible.
no,
Roll initiative.
No, I did not attack anybody. So anyway, it's on the south side. It's a big, thick metal door. I didn't hear anything, but I'm not sure that I would have been able to through that door. And that area is pretty intact, so there's not like a easy way to get in.
So wait, it's on the south side?
That's right.
And we were
Technically,
traveling.
it would be the east side, but
Okay.
my map
Well,
is
you
just
told me the south side.
I said my map is just oriented the other way, so that's why I said.
Okay, so it's the east
Do
side.
we have a map?
No.
Oh.
It's the east side of the castle.
Alright. Well, is
So
there
on the
is there
opposite side
It's
of
around right.
is there a concealed route to get to that, or do we have to get?
Did I notice a way for us to get around that without them noticing?
I mean, you can walk around it. There's nothing like really covering like their direct approach to it for the next like I don't know 50 feet around it, but you can get close.
50
That's
feet,
fine.
there could be some fog covering our approach.
That's true.
A random 50-foot cloud of fog just rolling up on the.
Not even rolling up; it's just there.
No one will think anything of it.
It's hazardous weather around these parts.
That's a very localized fog cloud.
It's
Well, I
very
could cast it at
specific.
level 2 and make it slightly less localized.
Alright, well then we approach that way then. Next episode.
Dun 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 dun.
Yeah, I'm real salty that we didn't fight anything. We didn't fight a single thing.
Yeah, y'all being sneaky, just assaulted the front door.
I fought some Grenier.
So did we get any XP?
Well, you didn't hang anybody this episode, so
Is that worth XP?
hanging people, yeah.
Oh, we need to do that shit more often.
You just lay down like, I'm level 6 now.
Gonna be so disappointed in that.
Who, Sister Sarah?
Yeah.
This is now a witch hunter
Listen,
campaign.
Sister Sarah needs to get off a fucking high horse. We did her a favor.
Like, Sister
Yeah.
Sarah.
Well, if you tie the noose on her and then kick the high horse,
Sounds like you know what to start with.
You can just attach her to the high horse. The horse will take care of most things.
all right, guys. I'll see you guys next time. Sorry
All right.
again. I got
Night.
No,
dragged.
it was fine. It was
Okay.
amusing. All right,
Thank
good
you.
night.
Good night.
So we don't get any XP for shopping and talking to people.
And finding shit out and
I
investigating
did a whole lot of crap.
and picking lock. You're
y'all
just
guys-
encouraging us to be murder hobos.
I got my own tent, and it is tiefling sized. I'm very proud of this tent.
Oh my lord.
I'm just encouraging you to level at a normal pace, not from in being in town talking to people. Also, I don't want to figure out the XP for that.
1500, is fine. That works.
Okay, you all earned 15 XP.
Yay.
No, he said 1500.
Yeah, you
No,
missed.
15,
I must
15.
have cut out. All right,
Yeah,
I'm
15.
serious.
Split 6 ways. That's 15.
GM math.
15 XP.
All right. What is that?
1606.
Oh, God, you're really doing it.
Oh, I'm doing it.
I'm getting every little bit of XP I can get.
All right. I
I-
knew there was gonna be a shopping thing. Damn it.
I mean, you didn't spend that much shopping.
I
Mostly
know.
talking, you
Well,
were mostly talking to people.
yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
that's what I meant. It's the same thing.
I found out a lot.
Yep.
So,
All right. To bed.
Yep.